Welcome back to Robin Reviews. Hope everyone had a nice Christmas. One of the things I've been saying for the last couple of videos that I really wanted to do is my own personal top 5 candies. To be honest, it's actually a difficult list to do because I have a sweet tooth. There are some candies that I don't like at all, like black licorice all sorts, really black jelly beans. You can see a bit of a pattern. But there's some through the years that I have come to love. This list has stayed pretty similar through the years, but it's had some new additions, and so I just thought it'd be fun. I mean, I know there are some sweet tooth out there, so if you have some preferences, please feel free to let me know in the comments. If you have some favorite flavors within these candies that are different from mine, please let me know. But I wanted to kick this off with 2 honorable mentions. So I've 7 in total, and I have one of each of them here, and 2 honorable mentions. Now, my honorable mentions actually don't have the official packaging anymore because I threw them out. My first honorable mention is Sour Keys. These, I remember growing up, there's this gas station that I used to go to, and they'd sell them for 25 cents each. And I remember the first Christmas, this was years ago, my parents let me buy an entire tub of it, and I think it was like $12 or something like that. And you can get them now from, if they're in stock at Costco, these are like $6. I will say, though, I do have a preference. I don't know if you can see in the bag there, but the bags generally come, I'll pull one out. The bags generally come with 2 different kinds. They come with the green and red and the yellow and orange, and yellow and orange and red. But my favorite is the green and red. It's hard to tell there. That is the green and red one. It's classic. It's a little bit more sour. It's really good. So that's an honorable mention. I'm not going to eat them right now because, well, as delightful as the sound of chewing is on a microphone, I'll save you from that. We'll go to our next honorable mention, and for years, this next honorable mention, I didn't actually like these, like at all, but they have grown on me, and so my next honorable mention are Jolly Ranchers, but they come with a bit of a disclaimer. It's basically anything but watermelon. Anything but watermelon Jolly Ranchers, and so my personal list would go blue raspberry, grape, cherry, green apple, and then way down the list, because the one you eat them is watermelon. But yeah, for years I didn't like these, but I really do now. I think they're really good flavor, and so let me know, is blue raspberry one you like? Are there people out there who like watermelon? And the thing about watermelon candy is my dislike for it is not just held to watermelon Jolly Ranchers. Anything watermelon flavored I don't like. I don't mind the fruit, although it's not one of my things I'd be like, oh, I'm really going to go buy some watermelon, because watermelon in what it is mostly water, doesn't have a lot of flavor, I think, and so that's my dislike. Now, we're going to venture into the top 5. Guaranteed each of you, if you're listening, you've had at least 4 of these. My top 1, fewer people have had, but they're still my favorite, and so, and there's other honorable mentions I could do, like Starburst. I mean, they're good, but they're not top 5. But the reason my top 5 is so hard is because there's very little room between 1 and 5. 1 is a little clearer, but there's very little space. So when I say, for example, that number 5 on the list are Cherry Blasters. Now, the one weird thing before I get into why I love these, they fell under the banner of Sour Patch Kids a couple years ago in their packaging, and so it's a little bit confusing because it says Sour Patch Kids Cherry Blasters, and they're in the shape of cherries still, and not Sour Patch Kids. I do love these. I personally think for flavor, they're one of the best, but the reason they don't match up as well, with especially my number 4, 3, and 2, is that they are just one flavor. It is a good flavor, but it is just one, and after a while, I find your tongue, if you eat too much of them, gets a little stripped of skin. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but yeah, there's another one now, which I'll get to in a couple minutes, my second one, which is very similar to these, but there's more than one flavor, and so that's why they rank higher, is because there's a little bit more of a difference. Not that I really get tired of these, but I get tired of these quicker because it is just the one taste. Do you like Cherry Blasters? Does it confuse anyone else? You know, that name, Sour Patch Kids, but they are good. And again, I'm not going to eat these on the camera, on the microphone, or on the camera. But I will have to eat them eventually because I did buy them. But they're very good. And over the years, like when prices of other things goes up, these never seem to, especially if you get them at Walmart. It's like $2 or something for a bag of these, and you can usually mix and match, or two something, but if you do like two for $4. So that's number 4. No, number 5, sorry. Number 5. And one thing I'd love to do at the end, if you are watching this and want to comment, please let me know if you took the 5 candies I'm showing you, how you'd rank them. So remember, I'll put them at the back here. Cherry Blasters is number 5. Coming up at number 3 is one that I've always liked, but I never really started liking them to this degree until later. And that is original Skittles. Now, it's very specific original. That doesn't mean I don't like the wild berry, I think the purple bag, or the tropical, which is blue, the sour, which is green, but there's something amazing about these. Now, I will say that these rose in my ranks when they went back to lime. That's not to say green apple. I don't know if you know this, but for a few years, Skittles changed, and so they still had the grape, the lemon, lime, and grape, lemon, orange, and red berry. Is this still called red berry? No, strawberry. Red berry is Sour Patch Kids, sorry. Strawberry. But for years, the green, they abandoned lime, and it was green apple. Still good, but there's just something about the mixture with the lime in them. One thing I did discover, though, is a month or so ago, I was in a little bit of a competition against a bunch of kids, and we were trying to blindfolded see if you could guess which the flavors are, and I actually did much worse than I thought I would do. Same thing happened a couple years ago. Sour Patch Kids was that one, and I thought, I can easily get this. Now, I will say, to defend my honor, I did do the Coke challenge, Coke, Pepsi, Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, and either Coke Zero was the 5th. Went 5 for 5, but these I did bad. Anyway, I'm going down a rabbit trail there. But these are number 4. Again, it's very interchangeable. Depends on my mood. Like I can go where, like, for a week or a month, I only will eat Skittles, and it's not like I eat them every day, but every once in a while, and then I'll go off them, and I won't eat candy for months, and then I'll have some of the other ones on my list, and I just don't interchange them. Like, there's not a time where it'll be like 1 week I'll be like, I want a little bag of Skittles. The next week, I want this, and then alternate. It'll usually be a bit of a streak, and so that is number 4. And so already, do you agree? Number 5, number 4. Again, it's not that Cherry Blasters are bad, but even Skittles having that difference of flavor just elevates them. And this is more of a direct comparable as my number 3, which are Sour Patch Kids. Now, even before they added the blue raspberry, so again, if you don't know, originally it was just the 4, yellow, orange, green, and red. They probably wouldn't be as good as Skittles. My favorite candy flavor is blue raspberry, even though that's not actually a fruit. And so that automatically raised these. These are similar to Cherry Blasters in a sense, because I found I can't just eat them and not stop, because they do irritate my tongue eventually. But they do get elevated above Sour Patch Kids Cherry Blasters, because they do have the different flavors, and so it's has a little bit more longevity, and it does go above the Skittles, because I just think I just think the flavor is minorly better, but again, it's not far off. Getting close now, so that's number 2. Number 2 I only got into a few years ago, actually, but they've taken off since then. Now, again, this is very specific. It has to be original fruits Mike and Ike, the green box. That's cherry, lemon, strawberry, lime, and orange. There's just something fantastic about Mike and Ike's. The flavor in these, I find, is one of the more authentic tasting flavors as it comes to candy. I don't feel like I'm eating fake flavor. Now, I'm not stupid to the fact that it is simulated flavor. Like, they're not squeezing lemons into these candies, but there's something that Mike and Ike's does with their flavors that just elevates it and makes it taste more real. Again, other candies, I'm not saying, oh, when I eat Skittles it tastes fake. But if I was to eat, for example, lemon, lime, and orange Mike and Ike, and then a lemon, lime, and orange Skittle, there is a drastic improvement of the flavor in Mike and Ike than there is in Skittles. Skittles is still good, but Mike and Ike's is just that much better. Now, my number 1 is actually controversial. So these you used to be able to get in grocery stores, and now you can get at Bulk Barn, but they've actually had a change lately, and so I'm going to put them down and see if you guys know what they are. Let's see a little bit closer. So these, if you can't see there, they're red and blue or purple, pink, orange. Now say it with me. Do you know what these are called? These are more commonly known as chews. Chews. The full name is assorted chews. But to my shock, today when I went to Bulk Barn, this was the one thing I was missing to do this video. I found, actually, I walked in. We walked in, and these employees were talking, and the employee said to the other one, chews are back, but they have a new name. And I didn't pick up on the fact that she was talking about these. So I get to it, and I see it's not called assorted chews anymore. On their bin at Bulk Barn, it says Double Bubble Wheelies, Wheelies, sour bubblegum. Double Bubble Wheelies sour bubblegum. Now maybe it's a little easier to explain what they are. No one really knows what chews are, but I will say I can't put my finger on it, but something is different. I would still put these as my number 1 personal preference of candy, but there's something different. When I used to buy them, the coloring would be very similar. They might be like, red and bluish purple, and then a lighter version of the two. But there's about 6 or 7 different variations of the color here. And again, there's just something different. Some of them are a little too sour. Some of them taste a little too fruity, and there's just something different. Again, still would put them as number 1. But Mike and Ike's got a lot closer today, which is ironic because I didn't know that when I went to plan this video. If I was to think about my honorable mentions, Sour Keys I ask for Christmas. I think if it was something that was a more regular thing, it might make the top 5, but it's not. And Jolly Ranchers, I do love them, and they are climbing my list, but not to topple any of these. So if you were to look at this and look at them from left to right, Wheelies, or the assorted chews, is number 1. Mike and Ike's, Sour Patch Kids, Skittles, Cherry Blasters, 1 through 5, with honorable mention going to non-watermelon Jolly Ranchers and the Jumbo Sour Keys. How would you rank them? Do you like these? Do you have favorite flavors? Again, for me, my favorite Mike and Ike is probably cherry, then blue raspberry, Sour Patch Kid, followed by probably the purple Skittles, and then Cherry Blasters. Again, that's just the individual flavor. So let me know if you have a difference. Let me know if you like these, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.